Hey beautiful, have you considered subscribing to our channel? It helps us make quality content for you. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. The scent of freshly ground coffee filled the air, mingling with the faint notes of vanilla and cinnamon. It was the morning rush at Café Verona, and the place hummed with a familiar rhythm, baristas moving like a well-rehearsed orchestra, customers engaged in quiet conversations, the hiss of the espresso machine punctuating the atmosphere. Mia, the cafe manager, stood behind the counter, her hands moving with practiced ease as she assisted the team. She thrived in the chaos of mornings like this, organized, efficient, and unshakable under pressure. A customer waved for assistance, and she responded with her usual warm professionalism, unaware that peace was about to be shattered. The bell above the door chimed, but this time, it wasn't just another customer. A woman strode in, radiating an air of self-importance. She moved as if the room were too small to contain her, oversized sunglasses perched on her nose despite being indoors, a designer handbag slung over her arm like a trophy. She ignored the line entirely, heading straight for the counter, her heels clicking against the floor with sharp, deliberate steps. A few customers exchanged glances, shifting uncomfortably. Someone cleared their throat, an unspoken attempt to remind her of the cue she had just bypassed. But she didn't acknowledge them. Instead, she exhaled loudly and tapped her nails against the glass display case, eyes scanning the menu as if it were a personal offense that she had to order at all. "I need a triple espresso with almond milk," she said, her tone flat, but with the expectation that she would be obeyed immediately. "And it better not be that boxed almond milk. I want it steamed to exactly 137 degrees. Also, I want vanilla, organic, imported from Madagascar. Not that cheap syrup." Ethan, the barista at the register, blinked, momentarily thrown. We use high-quality vanilla, ma'am, but we don't carry specific brands. And we can't guarantee the temperature down to the exact degree." The woman's sunglasses slid down slightly, revealing narrowed eyes. "Are you joking? Did I not just say what I wanted?" Mia, sensing the shift in energy, stepped forward. "Good morning," she said, her voice as steady as ever. "We'll do our best to accommodate your request, but there are some limitations. Our almond milk is premium quality, but we can't guarantee the precise temperature you're asking for. I can, however, ensure it's close to your preference." The woman huffed, shoving her sunglasses back up. Finally, someone with authority. "I swear, good help is impossible to find these days." Ethan's jaw tightened, but Mia remained composed. "Would you like to proceed with the order?" A dramatic sigh. "Fine. And make it quick. I have places to be." Mia nodded and relayed the order, ensuring it was prepared as closely as possible to the woman's request. When the drink was ready, she placed the cup on the counter. The woman, Karen, as Mia heard someone mutter under their breath, eyed the cup suspiciously before picking it up. She gave it a sniff, then took the smallest sip imaginable. Her entire face contorted. "You expect me to drink this?" Her voice was sharp enough to slice through the cafe's chatter, instantly drawing attention. Mia remained poised. "Is there something wrong with it?" Karen set the cup down with unnecessary force, the liquid sloshing dangerously close to the rim. "It's not right. I knew you'd screw this up. Why is it so difficult to follow simple instructions?" "We can remake it," Mia offered, already expecting resistance. Karen let out a dry laugh. "You shouldn't have to. A real manager wouldn't need to be told twice. Honestly, is this how you run this place? No wonder small businesses fail." Mia's patience held firm, but she could feel the weight of every eye in the cafe. Customers watched with barely concealed distaste, their own quiet irritation bubbling beneath the surface. Some had pulled out their phones. Karen picked up the cup again but didn't take another sip. Instead, she examined it like a disapproving queen inspecting an unworthy offering. Then, with an infuriating smirk, she threw it. The coffee splashed across the floor, droplets landing on Mia's shoes. The cafe fell into stunned silence. Mia stood completely still. The scent of vanilla and espresso clung to the air, now tainted with the sharp sting of humiliation. Karen crossed her arms, her lips curling. "Maybe next time you'll show some respect." A sharp intake of breath from somewhere in the cafe. Someone muttered, "Did she really just?" Mia's fingers curled slightly, but she didn't break. Her heart pounded, not with anger, but with the quiet, simmering resolve of someone who had seen far too many people like Karen mistake kindness for weakness. The cafe remained frozen in shock, waiting for Mia's response. And she wasn't going to let this slide. Mia exhaled slowly, letting the tension settle like dust after a storm. The cafe remained eerily quiet, the weight of what had just happened pressing down on every observer. The smell of coffee lingered at her feet, the splattered drink an unmistakable reminder of Karen's arrogance. Karen, however, seemed unfazed. If anything, she looked amused, a satisfied smirk tugging at the corners of her lips as if she had proven some ridiculous point. She adjusted the strap of her expensive handbag and folded her arms. "Well," she demanded, "aren't you going to clean this up? Or do you need another manager to show you how it's done?" Mia didn't move. She could feel the heat of everyone's eyes on her, their silent anticipation thickening the air. Some customers still clutched their phones, hesitant but recording. Others had their jaws clenched, waiting to see if justice would be served. "No," Mia said, her voice cool but firm. Karen's smirk faltered slightly. "Excuse me? You're going to leave," Mia continued, her posture unwavering. "Now." Karen let out a sharp laugh, tossing her hair over her shoulder. "Oh, you're adorable. You think you can just make me leave? I spend more money here in a month than half these peasants do in a year. I could buy this cafe if I wanted." Mia crossed her arms, meeting Karen's gaze head-on. "Then you should have no problem taking your business somewhere else." Karen's smile faded completely. Her eyes narrowed behind her oversized sunglasses, and she took a step closer. "I don't think you understand how this works, sweetheart," she said, voice dripping with condescension. "When someone like me tells someone like you what to do, you nod, apologize, and fix the mistake. You don't get to act like you have power here." Mia tilted her head slightly. "I am the manager." Karen's fingers twitched. The realization sank in, she had thrown coffee at the one person with the authority to remove her. The surrounding customers shifted, sensing the power shift. A few snickers rippled through the cafe. Karen squared her shoulders, regaining her bravado. "Then I want the owner's number. Now." Mia didn't even blink. "No." Karen's face twisted, her temper bubbling just beneath the surface. "Excuse me? You disrespected my staff, disrupted my cafe, and physically harassed me," Mia said, her voice smooth but laced with steel. "I don't owe you anything, least of all a phone call." A few customers murmured in agreement. Karen's eye twitched. She was used to winning, used to bending people to her will through sheer force of entitlement. The fact that Mia wasn't backing down, it was infuriating. Her nails drummed against her handbag. Then, suddenly, her lips curled into something sickeningly sweet. "Well," she cooed, reaching into her pocket and pulling out her phone, "if you won't listen to reason, maybe your corporate office will." She turned the camera on herself, immediately slipping into a mask of faux distress. "Hey everyone," she began, her voice trembling just enough to sound convincing. "I just had the worst experience at Cafe Verona." She panned the camera over the cafe, making sure to capture Mia in the background. "I came in, ordered my drink politely, and was treated so horribly by the manager, of all people. She was rude, dismissive, and aggressive." "That's not what happened," someone interjected. Karen ignored the protest, angling herself for better lighting. "This is what happens when customer service dies, people. This is why businesses fail. I can't believe the way I was treated today. Absolutely disgusting." Mia didn't move, didn't flinch. She had seen this tactic before. Karen was banking on her panicking, scrambling to fix the situation before it got worse. But Mia wasn't the one who needed to worry. Because Karen had underestimated one crucial thing: she wasn't the only one with a camera. Across the cafe, other customers were already posting their own videos. Some had captured the exact moment Karen threw the drink, her smirk unmistakable. Others were recording now, getting her in real time, exposing her manufactured victim act for what it was. A customer near the register, Sophie, chuckled under her breath. "I bet she does this everywhere." Karen continued her monologue, oblivious to the shift happening right behind her. "I deserve an apology," she declared dramatically. "And honestly, I think I deserve a free month of coffee for this harassment." Another customer snorted. "You deserve a lifetime ban." Karen whirled around, realizing too late that the tide had turned. The glow of screens surrounded her, the quiet murmur of people whispering about her behavior growing louder. Her phone buzzed in her hand. A notification. Then another. Then a flood. Confused, she lowered the camera and clicked on one of the alerts. A link. She pressed it. The page loaded, a video. Of her. Her throwing the coffee. Her sneer. Her condescending insults. And beneath it, the comment section was already brutal. "This lady is a walking entitlement complex. Imagine thinking you can demand people bow to you. Cringe. Exposing her so no business ever serves her again." Karen's breath hitched. Her fingers trembled as she scrolled. There were more videos. Angles she hadn't realized were being filmed. The cafe's security footage had even been posted. Mia had made sure of that. She looked up, a strange, wild look in her eyes. Mia stood there, her expression unreadable, her arms still crossed. Karen's panic was almost tangible. She tried to gather herself, smoothing her hair as if that might somehow undo the damage. This isn't funny, she hissed. You can't do this to me. Do you know who I am? A young man by the window snickered. We all do now. Laughter rippled through the cafe. Karen's cheeks flushed. For the first time she was the one feeling small. She turned, shoving her phone into her bag. Her bravado was crumbling by the second. She needed to get out, needed to figure out how to stop this before it spread any further. She grabbed her bag, yanking it over her shoulder, and stormed toward the door. But Mia wasn't finished. Oh, and Karen? Karen paused halfway out. Mia smiled just barely. Don't come back. A final wave of laughter followed Karen as she pushed through the door, stepping into the daylight. But even outside, her phone kept vibrating, notifications rolling in, her online persona shattering with every passing second. And inside the cafe the atmosphere shifted. There was a new energy in the air, not just relief but something more. Justice. And Karen had no idea how much worse it was about to get. Karen stormed down the sidewalk, her phone vibrating relentlessly in her grip. Each buzz sent another jolt of panic through her spine. She could already imagine the headlines. Entitled woman throws coffee at manager and gets instant karma. Her fingers trembled as she unlocked her screen. Social media was already eating her alive. The video had gone viral within minutes, spreading across platforms like wildfire. Comments poured in, a relentless stream of mockery and outrage. Imagine thinking you're royalty in a coffee shop. She really thought she could just walk away from this? I'd recognize that haircut anywhere. This lady lives for manager meltdowns. Karen's breath hitched as she scrolled. Screenshots of old Yelp reviews, her own one-star rants, were being dug up. People were connecting the dots. This wasn't her first incident. She had built a history of terrorizing customer service workers, and now the internet was compiling the evidence like a case file. Her stomach churned. This wasn't just some minor embarrassment. This was turning into a full-scale attack on her reputation. She spun on her heel and made a beeline for her car, heels clicking against the pavement. She needed damage control. Sliding into the driver's seat, she threw her bag onto the passenger's side and took a shaky breath. Fix this. She had always been good at spinning a situation in her favor. She could do it again. Her fingers flew across her phone screen. She opened Twitter. Karen Noble _official, her personal brand. She crafted a tweet with practiced precision, layering in just the right amount of faux sincerity. To those who saw the video, I want to apologize for how I reacted today. I was having an incredibly stressful morning, and I let my emotions get the best of me. I should have handled things differently. I never meant to offend or hurt anyone. We all have bad days and today was mine. I hope we can all move forward with kindness. Perfect. The classic I'm only sorry you saw it apology. She hit post and sat back exhaling. A second later her phone buzzed again. A reply. Then 10. Then 50. She clicked the notifications tab, her heartbeat hammering as the responses flooded in. Nope. You're only sorry because you got caught. Ma'am, you literally threw coffee at someone. That's not a bad day, that's assault. LMAO, she's trying to PR her way out of this. Blocked. Enjoy unemployment. Karen's vision blurred with rage. They weren't buying it. They were doubling down. Then the real horror hit. Her boss had commented. Karen, we need to talk. Call me immediately. A cold sweat broke out at the base of her neck. She clicked on the profile, Douglas Warren, CEO of Sterling Realty. Her boss's boss. Her hands turned clammy. She had worked at Sterling Realty for years, climbing the ranks, securing powerful clients, curating an image of prestige. She lost this job. She swallowed hard and hit the call button. It rang once, twice, then. Karen. His voice was clipped, emotionless. She forced a shaky laugh. Douglas, I was just about to reach out to you. Listen, there's been a misunderstanding. The internet loves to twist things. This isn't a misunderstanding. His voice was flat, unreadable. I watched the video. Karen stiffened. You don't understand. These people, they're exaggerating. They edited the footage to make me look bad. You threw coffee at someone? Silence. Karen licked her lips. Douglas, please? I have clients calling me, Karen. Clients. asking why an executive at my firm is trending for public harassment. Do you have any idea how damaging this is? Her breath came fast and shallow. I can fix this. No, Douglas said, his voice sharp as a blade. You can't. A heavy pause. Then the words she had been dreading. You're fired. The world seemed to tilt. What? You heard me, he said. Your contract states that any conduct damaging to the company's reputation is grounds for termination. This qualifies. Douglas, please, I have. Save it. You'll receive an official letter from HR. I suggest you start looking for other opportunities, though I doubt many firms will want to be associated with you now. The line went dead. Karen's hand slipped from the wheel. This wasn't happening. This was not happening. Her breath turned ragged. She squeezed her eyes shut, her pulse roaring in her ears. Then, a new notification. She opened it automatically, her brain barely processing the movement. Was a meme. A screenshot of her face, mid-sneer, holding the coffee cup. Text overlaid in bold, mocking font. When you demand royal treatment but get exiled instead. Her stomach flipped. The internet wasn't just angry. They were laughing at her. And this was just the beginning. Karen sat frozen in the driver's seat, gripping her phone like a lifeline. The screen still glowed with the humiliating meme, her face contorted into an expression she barely recognized, anger, entitlement, and the exact kind of arrogance she had spent years denying. The internet had taken her worst moment and turned it into a joke. A joke that was spreading faster than she could contain. The notifications never stopped. Asterisk, hey, does anyone know what store sells that Karen's perfume? I want to smell like delusion. Asterisk. Asterisk, breaking news. Queen Karen dethroned by commoners. Asterisk. Asterisk, she wanted respect and ended up with a permanent place in meme history. Asterisk. Karen's throat tightened. She scrolled frantically, searching for any comment, any post that was on her side, but there was nothing. No one was defending her. No one was even offering her a shred of sympathy. And then, another hit. Her bank had sent a fraud alert. No, not fraud, just a sharp drop in her balance. With shaking fingers, she opened the notification. Her company credit card had been revoked. Her final paycheck was withheld, pending legal review. Her name was being scrubbed from the company website. Her career, her entire identity, was unraveling before her eyes. She gasped for air, her body trembling with the realization. This wasn't a bad week. This wasn't something she could charm her way out of with a few half-hearted apologies and a well-crafted PR statement. This was ruin. Desperate, she opened her contacts, scrolling for anyone who could fix this. But every name felt like a dead end. The clients who once fawned over her status had already distanced themselves. Her coworkers had gone silent, probably too afraid of the backlash to be associated with her. And then she saw it. A missed call from her husband. Her stomach dropped. Daniel. She hesitated for only a second before tapping the call button. The line rang once, twice, then connected. Karen. His voice was tight. She forced a breath. Daniel, what the hell have you done? His words were sharp, each syllable weighted with something she didn't recognize. Not anger. Not disappointment. Something worse. Finality. Karen swallowed hard. Daniel, listen to me, the internet is exaggerating. These people are vultures. They're twisting everything. A heavy silence stretched between them. When he finally spoke, his voice was quieter but somehow even sharper. No, Karen. I saw the video. Her chest constricted. I saw you, he continued. That wasn't some clever edit. That wasn't people twisting the truth. That was you throwing coffee at someone because you didn't get your way. She opened her mouth, ready to spin another excuse, but nothing came out. I thought I knew you, Daniel said. I defended you. Even when I saw the signs, even when people warned me. He let out a bitter laugh. God, I was so stupid. Karen's stomach twisted. Daniel, don't do this. You're my husband. Not anymore. The words hit like a sledgehammer. Karen's breath caught in her throat. What? I've already spoken to my lawyer, Daniel said. I want a divorce. No, she choked out, shaking her head. You can't, Daniel, please. I can, he said. And I will. Her world blurred at the edges. You're leaving me over a video? This isn't just about the video, Karen. It's about who you are. Who you've always been. And I refuse to spend another second pretending I don't see it. She gasped, searching for the right words, the right plea to make him change his mind. But nothing came. Because deep down in the hollow part of her chest, she knew. There was nothing left to save. The call cut out. The empty silence that followed was deafening. Her hands trembled as she lowered the phone, staring blankly at the screen. Fired. Publicly humiliated. Abandoned by everyone who once respected her. And now alone. Karen gripped the steering wheel, her nails digging into the leather. A scream built in her throat, raw and primal, but she swallowed it down. She wasn't done. She couldn't be. Her fingers hovered over the screen again, this time searching for a lawyer, for someone who could sue, silence these people, make them pay for what they'd done to her. But as she stared at the screen, the truth settled in. There was no one left to fight for her. Because for the first time she was the villain. And no one was coming to save her.